Hey guys, you are watching the Flock Finger Lakes channel, and this is going to be the first video. Now, this is not going to be a super informative video. It's just going to be me chatting with you right now. But I just wanted to do this video because I wanted to give you a sense of what you're going to be seeing on this channel. It's going to be different from Plant One On Me, which is my other channel, which is probably what brought many of you here. And even though we're going to be covering a lot of plants, I think that this channel is going to be a little bit more about life here in the Finger Lakes. Now, to just back up a little bit, for those of you who had been watching my channel or watched my live feed on Plant One On Me, you will know that a number of my friends and I came together and we ended up purchasing property outside the city. Now, this was a dream of ours for quite some time, and we were all kind of dreaming about it in our own little worlds. And then one of my friends, Joey, approached me one day and said, hey, my other friend, Sam, and I were actually thinking about doing a little community together. We love having the community in the city, but we all grew up in the country. What do you think about actually doing this? Now, I should say that Sam got cold feet and kind of dropped out of the group. We still love him. He's still around, and we'll be seeing him probably within this month, and maybe we could coax him to come over to Flock Finger Lakes. But that was really what started it. It started with Joey approaching me and saying, hey, love to do this. And I know Sonder was actually thinking about this for the longest time. So we all just really came together. And we had been looking for property for 2 years. And it was a little bit more like a walk in the park, as I was sharing with some other friends. Not many people were like looking for real estate in this area, which is about 4 to 5 hours outside of the city. And then when the pandemic hit, as you can imagine, people were really looking for property outside of the city. And I feel like we're super lucky to have gotten what we did, and we were very decisive, but we also missed out on a few other pieces of property that we were looking at prior to this. But I think in the end, it actually worked out really well. So we are really excited to be able to take you on this journey. And that is a little bit about what this channel is going to be about, is our journey individually and together here at Flock, which is what we're calling this. Like, we want you to be part of our flock, and we also love birds, so that was kind of a no-brainer name that came to mind. And I think that if you obviously know Plant One On Me, my other channel, you will know that plants are really central. And that whole channel is about plants and the people who love them and bringing people closer to plants. And so you will see that theme, no doubt, come through in this channel. But I'll probably leave more of the houseplant stuff to Plant One On Me, and this will be more about outdoor gardening. It's going to be about agroforestry. It's going to be a little bit homestead-ish, and I say ish because we're all modern day people, and I don't think it's realistic for us to be like, okay, we're gonna produce everything here on Flock, and we're never going to go to a grocery store or anything like that again. No, we really like to go to restaurants. We like to support the local community in different ways. We love to go to the farmer's market. We love to go to the grocery store now and again. But I think the channel is really going to be through the lens of us building what we're going to be building here at Flock together. I know that this is kind of an unusual way to live. It's not so unusual, like many other folks have done this in the past. But the people who live here are super interesting, and there's lots of different people who are living differently here. You have some people who are in the woods, you have eco-villages, you have communal living, you have tiny house living. It's like all kind of right here because people are very open-minded about how other people want to live. There's so many different models that people are doing that had been interesting to us, but not exactly what we were looking for. And I think we have to, as a group of friends, we had to really figure out a structure that works for us. So we'll try to actually go through some of those logistics in different videos because I think it actually be helpful for maybe some of you who are considering a different way of living. So we want to share that journey with you. And I think there's going to be a lot of learnings. There's a lot of research and looking into that we did in the beginning so that we don't trip up along the way, but that doesn't mean that we know everything. So we're going to hopefully learn with you and share with you our journey. and share how we're coming together to do everything from like how we put together this deal with ourselves to make sure that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot in the future, you know, in order to be able to, you know, go through our mind of the different scenarios for decision making and how we're going to make decisions together. It might be a little bit easier if you were like a partner or a couple, but we're not. We're 3 individual people on the same piece of property. So how does that actually work? Well, hopefully we're going to find out through the creation of this channel. I think overall, what this channel will be about will be centered on the property and kind of what we're doing and our vision for the property and how we're seeing that evolve over time. That being said, it's not going to be all about this property, but it will be kind of through the lens of it, because what I know from actually having lived in this area for a few years when I was in university is that there are just so many interesting people and communities that are present in the Finger Lakes area. And we really want to be able to highlight that and highlight those folks who are doing incredible things, because part of what we're going to be learning is learning from other people as well, and you're going to be learning with us. And we could then kind of pick and choose what we might like to see on our property and how it relates to our life. So I think that will be quite fun. So it won't be all about like us and the property. And I think, you know, from Plant One On Me, obviously it's going to have, it's going to be very plant centric, but a lot of the plants are going to be plants outdoors. We're really interested in stewarding this property. I mean, the way that we kind of view this property is that we're just kind of borrowing it for our time here on Earth. And we'd really like to obviously build a community for ourselves, but build a community for the greater community as we develop it. And really cherish the land and enjoy the bug life and the bird life and the wildlife, and be able to really create a property for that. And I think that the property is already in a good place for that. And I'll share a little bit more about the property in a subsequent video. But for this, I just wanted to kind of keep it high level of what you're going to be seeing here. I can imagine doing outdoor gardening, some agroforestry. We have this beautiful forest here that we could actually start doing some of that shade gardening. A lot of water on this property, mainly in the form of ponds and ephemeral streams, but also like a little boggy area. So we could really do some really good wet meadow or pond planting. We have some dry meadow. So there's lots of different habitats here that we could be playing with. And as far as the frequency goes, I mean, if you've tuned into Plant One On Me, you know that videos come out every Thursday and sometimes Sundays, but it's not going to be like that for Flock Finger Lakes. And part of the reason is I don't want to force us into a situation where we have to produce a film. So if it feels right, and if we're able to grab a camera and kind of like edit and put things together, then we'll do that. So what I would recommend is, if you want to follow along on this journey, I would recommend subscribing and then also hitting that notifications bell, because what the notifications bell does is that it informs you in your inbox that there's a new video. And since they're not going to go on this regular schedule, the videos are just going to come as they come. And I think there will be some sort of frequency and regularity, but I don't want to make any promises right away, because I also just want to really enjoy the land with my partners. And like I said, if it moves us to actually film it, then we'll do that. But I don't want to force that on myself, or I don't want to force that on Sonder, or if Joey's coming here, we just don't want to force it on ourselves. And we want to be able to take time with the property and really enjoy it and savor the moment individually and also together, because that's part of the reason why we're doing this. So I hope you tune in. I hope you subscribe. I hope you hit the notifications bell, because it'll really help the channel grow, and it'll really help us actually and encourage us to produce some content for you. All right, guys. Ta-ta for now.